Jeff Edwards. We've got a farming operation 50 kilometres southeast of Brookton, 40 k's east of Pingelly. We're farming around 9,000 hectares of a mixed sheep cropping enterprise. So 20 years ago we wouldn't have even thought about organic carbon levels or microbial activity. It would have been all about MP and K and perhaps pH. And I think now it's time to look further. My dad was sort of old school, say that with respect, but he wasn't paying attention to potassium and pH, so that's what started my journey back then. We were using more and more chemical and fertiliser to get the same yields. Our water use efficiency was improving, but I just felt really strongly that it probably wasn't sustainable. It's probably come to a bit of a head now with high fertiliser and chemical prices. I really think we need to look at alternative ways to produce our crops and livestock with less of those inputs, if it's possible. Definitely when I was young and we were working the soil, whether it be cultivating or seeding, you could smell it. You could smell that sweet, especially when it was wet, and I don't smell that now as much. Whether it's because of a drying climate or all the nasties we're putting in the soil. Definitely in the future I would hope to smell that sweet soil smell again and bring back earthworms, and then our earthworm population. Those subsoils, once you got down to a depth of 250 millimetres, there was no life. There was no moisture. This was during early part of summer. No oxygen, nothing growing, no roots. The crop and the pasture roots were growing to that level and just flatlining. Once we started testing, it was acidic. It was low 4s to high 3s as far as acidity in some cases, and the aluminium levels were in their teens. When you see that, you think, what have we done? What have we done to our soil? The things that we're doing different are mainly lime, gypsum and ripping with a Terraland, and soil testing. Soil testing before and soil testing afterwards, just to see what results we're getting out of what we're doing, the money we're spending. Well, we've kept sheep, livestock in our program, a lot of subclover pastures, and we find that that's great for soil health. Our organic carbon levels on those legume pastures are nearly double where we're cropping. We're fencing off remnant veg on quite large scales. The trees and the native animals, things that come back into those areas, it's massive. I guess it's constantly evolving. You might try things that don't work, so you have to learn to understand what does and doesn't work. So I guess it's potentially constantly changing, but I do know the basics of what we're doing is helping. Highlights definitely were the yields we got in 2020 on 185 mil of rain. We were getting well over 3 tonne per hectare, 3.5 tonne on sandy Christmas tree country that previously on a year like that might have yielded under 2 tonne. We've always had great relationship with our bank. We've been able to expand a lot in the last 20 years, but they did say about 6 months ago in a conversation that as clients we are going to have to be more accountable for our farming practices and our level of sustainability. You can just feel that it's coming, that social licence, and the banks are going to expect us to be doing the right thing. We just want to build a sustainable business and a sustainable farm, so that going forward we are still making profits and the whole thing is sustainable. I went to a carbon stocktake meeting in Perth a month or so ago, and the whole room was full of people who just wanted to achieve the same thing. So good, yeah, really good. It was really rewarding.